Good morning, honorable members of parliament. Good morning, our permanent witness. Chimombo Council, you are most welcome. My name is Honorable Kampamba Mlenga. I am member of parliament for the good people of Kalulushi of the Copper Belt province. You're most welcome.
Thank you very much, Chimombo Town Council. My name is Mulunda Darius, member of parliament for Siavonga constituency, and I'm the chairperson for this committee. The committee appearing before this morning, the Committee on Local Government Accounts. Before we get into business, Council Secretary, under Cap 12 of the laws of Zambia, members of parliament enjoy the immunity under Cap 12 of the laws of Zambia, of course, that whatever you say here will not be used against you, because the same immunity is extended to you when you appear before any parliamentary committee. But whatever you say will not be used against you. But however, if you choose to mislead this committee, misinform this committee, the same Cap 12 will be used against you. But I have no doubt in my mind that you wouldn't do that, and that you are going to give us factual information this morning, useful information, the information that will help us generate a very good report that will submit before the Right Honorable Madam Speaker in the main house. With that said, I'm aware that you made a submission yesterday. We'll therefore not go back to ask you to resubmit, but you want to get points of clarifications, questions from the honorable members. We'll proceed in that fashion. Honorable members, we are going straight away to ask for questions or points of clarifications. And I know one of the observations that we made yesterday was to do with that was appendix what? To do with contracts that had different figures, which seemingly here have been corrected, and we have the right figures both in weights, right amounts both in weights and in figures. So we go into questions. So relax, Council Secretary. We want to ask questions now. Yes, Honorable Swan.
Chair, thank you very much. I think there was a question yesterday that the CS didn't give us an answer on project number 10.
Page what?
Appendix 4E. 4E.
Appendix 4E.
Yes, Chair. Project number 10, the construction of flat and water reticulation at Chinkova Primary School. 4E. The Chair, the approved amount of this project is 800,000 kwacha, and the contract sum is 837,821. The question that we posed, Chair, was we wanted to know where they got the top up and which minutes are supporting the very top up, because we want to see if this top up of 37,000 kwacha was taken to CDF committee for approval, and if there were some minutes and so forth, Chair. I think that was the question, and we didn't get the answer. Chair, submit.
Council Secretary.
Thank you, Chair. First of all, I would like to appreciate you, Chair, for inviting us again today to make some clarifications. Indeed, we've done a lot. We've made a lot of strides. And also, concerning the filing, I'm sure now you can follow. So with that said, I will take you to 4G10, folio number 4G10. There's a letter from Mr. Mwempwa, the contractor, where he accepted to do the project at 800,000 kwacha. However, Chair, I should mention here and also apologize that Yes, Mr. Mwempa agreed to do the project at 800 kwacha, but obviously my office, we made a mistake. Instead of indicating the agreed amount, we had to indicate 837, of which, Chair, when we go back, we'll make corrections.
So the question is, why did you include that 37,000?
Chair, the money that is there for the project, the agreed amount is 800. 837, that was the bidder's offer initially, but we agreed to 800. But when indicating in the contract, we had an omission of indicating 837 instead of 800. Even our ledger, it shows that we are within the budget of the allocated amount.
Thank you. Honorable Mtelo.
Chair, we appreciate the services of both radio and TV that sometimes we are able to follow even when one is not here. But I came a little bit late. I don't know. I heard the CS to say a good number of us are new. Appendix 4F, somewhere where it is number 5. Are we there?
Yes, sir. 4F.
Annex 2, and then in bracket it's like a 3. Are you there? I want you, ma'am, to read the sum, both in word and figures.
Thank you, Chair.
Use your mic, if you may.
Thank you, Chair. The amount is 473,000 kwacha, 500
Ma'am, start. Read what you are saying.
in word.
Yes, 400.
473,000 kwacha,
Are we on the same page?
Yes.
The page that I have is, maybe I have a different page.
What is it saying?
The contract dated 11th of January.
I think it has been corrected. What she's reading this one.
So if it has been corrected, how come mine is still having what I'm seeing?
Chair, we brought in 10 copies of the corrected ones, and even that amount, Chair, there was a typo in figures, and this is supported by a letter only. It is supported on a letter on just after. This is Shinkomba.
Yes.
It is supported by a letter 4G1.
Just so that we follow together.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Now I have what you have. You may continue.
Yes, Chair. Those figures indicating 4 million. If you could see clearly, the 4 was, they tried to cancel, but you know, according to law, when you cancel, you're supposed to sign. That was an omission, and that's what I'm saying. Even as it may be, that is supported by a letter from our client, which states that they've accepted to do the project at 473, 515, 16 way. So meaning, when we go back, all these things will be rectified, Chair.
Where is that letter?
Thank you, Chair.
The letter is attached, it's 4G1, though it's quite blared, Chair, but it's showing. We even have soft copies.
Or they wrote it yesterday and sent it?
No.
You had come with it?
We had come with it. At the time we were doing photocopies, I think the way it was captured, it wasn't in a proper way. Otherwise, these we have even the original copies.
The contractor has accepted to do what?
To do the works at
Slow
473,
down.
515,000, not 4 million, as it is indicated.
Okay, just slow down, Honorable. What is the letter?
The letter is 4G1.
4G.
4G1.
The one, what is?
4G1, Chair.
Not that one. No,
Not that one. It's written Ekachi. 4G1.
180. 4G18.
And it's signed by Mr. Kangwa Mumba.
It's written what? Because it's like we are.
Is it Catch or a Catch Enterprise?
Ikachi Enterprise Limited.
Do you have this material?
Thank you for those who have it. Instead of 4 million, it's now what?
It is not now. It has been 473,515.
Ma'am, when you are talking through the chair you use.
Sorry, Chair.
So the 4 million changed in 2000 through the night.
Chair, that was an omission at that time, but even then, records that we have are showing that this contract accepted to do the project or to do the works at this same amount of 473,515 kwacha 16 ngwe. The 4 million, it was a typo error, but that shall be corrected on the contract, Chair, since we have a supporting letter from our contractor.
Chair, through you.
Switch off your mic. Yes.
Could it be now that, yes, the contractor is reading 493,000, council management has a 4 million, so that the difference would go where it is supposed to go, not to the community? Because you can't have 4,000 which turns into council management into a 4 million.
Switch off your mic. Yes, Honorable Simumba.
Chair, thank you very much.
Pay attention, please. Yes, switch off your mic, Council Secretary.
I earlier asked a question, and the chair, the CS said the contract sum is not 837, but instead it's 800. I wanted to find out, at which point did you agree with the contractor that is going to do the work at 800,000 kwacha? And why, if you agreed at the initial meeting, why is it still indicating contract sum of 837 instead of 800? Because, Chair, if really they negotiated at 800 kwacha, I'm sure by now they would have collected this contract sum to 800 kwacha. And is it true that you are seeing this 837, 821 just from here, or even at Chalimbana and even at Chiwombo, you saw and you didn't, correct it? Chair, I submit.
Thank you, Chair. I'll start by answering the other project, which is at Tuyandane. I'll take you to the ledger, which is 4E. It's even indicating that it's 473, 515, 60 kwacha. Then coming to 800, Chair, the procedure is, when you sit for tender, of course, after all those processes, when you sit for tender and you look at the bidders, and if you see that the next bidder who can do a good job is close to the amount of allocation, that is after looking into their experience and all those things, then you can ask, the tender committee can ask an ad hoc can form an ad hoc committee, or rather appoint an ad hoc committee to negotiate on behalf of the tender committee. And that is what happened. It was negotiated that the works would be done at 800. But however, Chair, you've said that we should not mislead this team, this committee. And that's why my team thought it prudent to say, we'll take the figures as they are, because we have other supporting documents to say, actually, this figure, 800, is the one that was agreed on. But however, Chair, we've taken note to say, yes, it's 800, but we had indicated 837. Ledgers, they, according to what was paid out, is 800. So we are going to correct that anomaly, and we really apologize for that.
Thank you very much. I think without laboring on it, those documents related to that payment should be made available, and on top of that, the transfer, we need the transfer record that will show that actually what you paid to that contractor is not the 837 but is the 800. We need the transfer because that was going to sum up how much was sent to that contractor or was paid to that particular contractor.
Much obliged, Chair.
Thank you. Honorable Mwanza.
Thank you, Chair. We appreciate your explanation concerning the negotiations. It is normal for any contract to negotiate with a bidder, and you come up to agreed terms. My question is, in this case, the client reserved only 800,000 kwacha, and the bidder, who was the best evaluated bidder, was at 837,000 kwacha. The ad hoc committee negotiated to bring down the project cost to 800,000 kwacha. And the contract, you have indicated 837,000 kwacha still. But anyway, you say you're going to correct to 800,000 kwacha.
Yes, Chair.
My question is, when you negotiate from 837 to 800, what scope, what was your negotiation basis to bring down the contractor to 800,000? Are you going to change his unit rates to come to 800,000? Remember, his BOQ, when you add the totals, the quantity multiplied by the rate, including all taxes, everything comes to 837. Now on verbal negotiations, you negotiate to say, okay, come to 800,000 kwacha. At execution, when you are paying, using the interim payment certificates, these are measured works, measured certified works. So the contractor would have completed his work, and the engineers will go and measure the work and pay according to the measured work in relation to his BOQ. How are you going to incorporate to make sure that the IPCs will not be queried by external auditors? Because if it is concrete, 30 cubic meters, he put his rate there. That made this cost price to be 837. So are you saying he made a discount on all the rates, or there was change in the scope of work? Because to come up to a reduced price for each projects,
please summarize your
it's
question.
either you reduce the scope of work, you say you don't construct the external drainage so that it comes to, so what was your basis for negotiating to 800,000?
Thank you, Chair. Your question is very clear. I'll now invite Director Engineering to shed more light on that one and to give details.
Director Engineering.
Thank you very much, Chair. So in this case, the negotiations were based on the rates. We had to negotiate with the contractor to reduce on the rates. basically a discount in short.
Sorry, so on the rates, which rate? So if he said a bag of cement for concrete, his price was 150, then he says he's going to buy cement at 120 to make sure that it comes to 800,000. Because I'm afraid that he's going to compromise on the quality of works. Which rate specifically do you have in mind that made the price to come to 800,000?
I think what the response was that it was going to be in form of a discount, meaning he was going to lose out in some ways. So yes, of course, you would be thinking that maybe you compromise the works, but the bottom line or the catching rate is that he agrees to a discount. Whatever he does, whether he's going to use his money, but he has agreed to some discount.
And just to add on, Chair, during the negotiations, it is allowed to negotiate within the 25% of engineers' estimate, less or plus.
Yes, Honorable.
Chair, I thank you for the committee and the management. I changed. I thought maybe I was using the yesterdays. But I've come back to the latest, Chair. 4F CS, page 5 and 7. I want you to read. Maybe at some point, maybe I shall have to use the chairs or maybe the CS. No wonder I had to go to my colleague to go and compare notes, because we are not on the same page, and management can help. Are you on 4F5?
4F5?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm on 4F.
Page 5? Of the contract.
Yes, Chair.
In the first place, on top there are no dates. There's no date.
Yes, Chair.
Now we could be on the same page. What figure are you seeing? Figure.
The figure, Chair, is 493,517.
What is in the brackets?
It's a different.
What is
590,917 kwacha 91 ngwe.
Were we on the same page?
Yes, Chair.
Okay, go on page 7. In words?
In words, 679,926 kwacha 8 ngwe.
Figures?
678,900.
Are you reading the same as?
That we have acceptance letters from our clients
So
that are supporting this.
Where is the acceptance letter for the one on number 7?
Number 7?
Yes. Chair,
Chair, we can provide in due course, but this was a typo error.
Madam, you have just stated that you have supporting letters. Now I'm asking, where is the supporting letter for the contract on page 7?
What?
Chair, a lot was happening. If you were not in the office, this is just to say things were not going on well.
Chair, I should confess, like I said yesterday, this
And
is...
you did a good thing to bring evidence as it is, so that out of this, we should now cure the disease. If we can't bring out these things, Chair, the disease shall not be cured.
It's true, Chair. It's true. We apologize for that one.
You can't be bringing here, figures are different, words are different. Then they all continue to be typing error. Here it's 4 million, there it is 4,000. No. Chair. Thank you, Chair.
Have you finished?
Yes.
Chair.
Do you have any reaction, CS, to...
Chair, we've noted all that has been said and we've observed. We are going to correct the situation. Like I mentioned, the consoling part is that all these, they have supporting documents. As we go back, we'll make corrections. We accept and apologize, Chair.
To finish on, when you say all these have supporting documents, which you cannot bring, then you'll be misleading your committee.
Sure, Chair.
You may go and not find the supporting documents.
All right, the observation actually are well observed. For the sake of progress, I think Honorable Member for Nakonde.
Chair,
please,
thank you
if
very
you-
much. I
if
think
you-
for us to cure this, Chair, we would want also to know who was the CS then, because I'm sure he has transferred these problems somewhere else. We need to know and mark where he is, so that, Chair, we start curing. Because when we just leave it the way it is, I'm sure your committee, Chair, will have a lot of difficulties. Maybe at the end of the day, we need from the CS to know who was then the management and also who was the internal auditor then. Maybe we can ask the internal auditor. All these problems that we are seeing, did they pass through your office, and did you okay them if the internal auditor is around?
Chair, the CS that time was Stanley Mbewe, and the auditor is with me. Maybe he can say something.
First, before we go further, yesterday we said that there's a perpetual succession, which we agreed, and the Honorable now has brought in an issue. Who was the CS? And where is he? However, Honorable members, I think this issue we started yesterday. Maybe the best thing that we can do for now, we'll start with each and every member to tell us when they went to Chibombo, than just an individual. Maybe that is the best way to go. The CS, when did you go to Chibombo?
Chair, I had gone to Chibombo. I was transferred in July. I reported in August.
Okay, last year.
Last year.
All right, another person who is actually, is it the council treasurer?
Yes, Chair.
Mm-hmm.
I reported at Chibombo on 8th August 2022.
2022.
Yes.
All right. And then the other one?
Thank you, Chair. I reported to Chibombo Town Council in April 2023.
Okay. The other one?
Thank you, Chair. I reported in Chibombo on 1st January 2023. I've only been there for a month.
The other person?
2024, sorry.
2024?
Yes, this year.
Yes.
Thank you, Chair. I reported in Chibombo in 2020, August.
August 2023.
2020.
2020. All right. The other one?
No, thank you, Chair. I reported in Chibombo last month, first week of last month.
Okay. Honorable members, the internal auditor as well.
Thank you, Chair. I reported at Chivombo, I think I've been the longest, on July 2017, Chair.
Thank you very much. I think then it also now tells us that this is collective responsibility. While we appreciate that the council secretary could not have been there, but the responsible officers were there. Honorable members, can we go to the next question? I think that will be concluded later. Yes, Dr. Mwanza.
Mayor, I think it's just an advice on these contracts, because as they go back, they need to put a house in order. To each contractor, there must be, because we don't want a situation where a contractor will sue the council. Because based on the contract that you signed with a contractor, is able to claim when you pay him, when your ledgers are showing a closing financial of 800,000, he will show his contract to say, I've been underpaid, because the contract is here. So make sure that the negotiated prices, a contract that you sign on a negotiated price, include a clause on that contract of the basis of negotiation. Where is he reducing his rates to reach 800,000? For example, you just say the contractor has given a discount on all the rates to a discount of 20% or 15%. So when you calculate, it comes direct to, so you write that it is at a negotiated contract sum of so much by a discount offered by the contractor to this much. And it will not compromise the scope of work, even the quality. Because one of these councils that we've been interrogating, I cannot just remember the name of the council. This contractor, 1x3 classroom block, he constructed it at a negotiated price. And he claimed his money, then he was not paid. He was not paid. Then he said, after all, you people, all what you wanted was just a classroom block, a 1x3 classroom block. So I'm not ready to remedy these defects. You know, because he had a certain basis for argumentation. Anyway.
One of the members, we have established the confusion that is around this contract. And definitely we will not be going around, we will not find anything. Because the figures will still remain the same, the explanations will still be going around. I would ask the Auditor General to go back and look at this and give us the report on it, other than us, you know. We've got a lot of work ahead of us today. So Auditor General, make a follow-up on this, but on the contracts that are running in Chivombo, get the truth out of that. Honorable members, another question.
They should also investigate contracts number 14, 15, 16, and 17, where the contract sum is equal to the approved amount.
Taking notes, Auditor General?
The contract sum is equal to the approved amount.
Just go through the numbers again.
Project number 14, project number 15, project 16, and project number 17.
Okay, they are on the, what's the page there?
On the project list for Kembe constituency.
Yes.
Which is
4D. On the submission, 4D.
4D.
Or 4E.
Yeah.
4E. 4E. Yes, on their submission. Yes.
Chair, the honorable member for Nakonde had asked as to where the internal auditor was When
Is it on the same question?
Yes, when all these things were happening.
I've made a ruling in that, so let's move. Because if he played his part, then we wouldn't maybe been in this situation. So it's lumped on the management, the principals and our management. Honorable Simambe.
Chair, thank you very much. CS, having gone through all these issues that the committee has asked, what is your take-home conclusion?
Thank you, Chair. Having gone through all what has been observed, I think this is an eye-opener. You know, as principal officers, we really have to be detail seekers. We really have to scrutinize the contracts, the wording, and all that, so that in future, councils do not pay exorbitant monies in court. So we really have to be careful with what we are doing, especially handling the contracts. And I promise that from here, I'm going to rectify the documents, especially the figures that are not tallying with the amounts in words.
Another question? Yes, Honorable Gamondo.
My question actually is, I'm just trying to look at the progress that has been made in terms of these projects. There is a project which is number 6. Is it Chitanda?
On page what?
On 4F.
4F.
Yeah. It's like out of all the projects, this is the only project that has not made.
What 4E, Honorable?
4F. On the list, on the project list, also the information is there. But they are different. It's 4F. Chitanda, project number 6, also. The project is at 65%. I think. Are you there, Chair?
In others, it's 4E like mine.
It's 4E.
Okay. But the project name is Chitanda, construction of a 1x3 classroom block.
Number 6, yes.
At Makoka Primary School, somewhere there. Now, my concern is that this project is at, it was reported at 50%. Now it is at 65%. The question is, why, why is this project dragging? What could have really happened that it's not actually moving at the pace that it is supposed to move? Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. As you may be aware, during the year under review, Chitanda area, especially where the school is located, it gets so damp, such that sometimes it's impassable. And that caused the contractor not to go on site on time.
So, through you, Chair, what is the current status? Do we take that the project is at 65% or maybe some progress has been made?
Thank you, Chair. Engineer?
Thank you, Chair. The project is currently at 65% as stated in the document.
Chair, thank you very much. Chair, I'll take you to page 9. Failure to report. Chair, we have about 15 students who didn't report, and in their submission, they're telling this committee that they wrote to the institution.
Sorry, I'm behind. You are saying it's on page what?
Page 9.
Page 9.
Failure to report. Katuba constituency chair, there is 1 student, and Kembe, there are 14 students who didn't report, and the council made a payment of 190,755. Yes. In their action taken, Chair, the management is telling this committee that they wrote to the institution so that the students that did not report for classes in the period under review they can be replaced. And the management is saying the replacement has since been done in 2024. See attachment Annex 7A. Chair, I want to take you to 7A. Chair, when you look at that letter, they are still telling this committee that there is an amount that also needs to be refunded. Up to now, they haven't. That is 91,385. I wanted to find out from the CS, at what point do you make a payment of students? Is it after they report, or you just follow the list of those who have been approved? Secondly, why has it taken 2 years for you to claim this refund? Up to now, you haven't claimed. Chair, I submit.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, you may agree with me that initially, when handling CDF, it was, we didn't have the exact guidance to follow. What do I mean? Initially, what used to happen, when the approvals come from the ministry, we would pay immediately as long as the student name is on the list. But later, in 2022, I think somewhere in December, some guidance came from the ministry to say all payments should be done after physical verification, and that is what we are doing. Auditor's office and finance, they go on the ground to verify physically, to count, to ensure that what they found on the ground is what we are paying for. Initially, Chair, it was difficult. Once you pay, you go back to the school to ask for money when you realize that students have not paid. It was difficult to get that money. By then, the school will have put it in other use. So for now, there is physical verification. And why it has taken so long, the process are just way too much, and they take long. Let's say if you don't make frequent follow-ups, then the school will relax, because by then they will have money. But if you start following them up, they will pay. You discuss with them, either you replace or repayment. But repayment, they've really refused to say they would only accept students to be replaced.
Council Secretary, you have said a lot of things just now. And one of them is that the process is long or what. That is your money. Are you supposed to be pleading? Or you put up a demand?
Chair, I was in chamber.
Honorable Nyambose, maybe before she responds.
Thank you very much, Chair, Council Secretary and the team. My name is Mishek Mtetwa Nyambose, representing the special people of Chasefu constituency in Eastern Province. Chair, just as you have raised the concern, Chair, I want to find out from the Council Secretary, professionally, I'm talking about professionally, what would be the basis of payment before verification, who was reported or not? And now, when did you realize, professionally, do you need to be told that now you should be verifying? What happened? How would you pay for students without verification? Did anyone stop you from doing that before? And what has changed? Because I believe you are professionals. You cannot pay for something that you have not seen, you have not verified. So, arising from the statement you have given, I've been moved to say what has happened. So that is my question. Professionally, are you in order to pay for things you have not seen? Later, the question that the chair has asked, you are pleading with an institution 2 years, as Honorable Simumba has indicated. You can't get your money. They are refusing. Who? Is it their money? You were paying. Did you receive a service for the same? Who are refusing? And what are you supposed to do to make follow-ups, so that that money could have been used to other pressing issues, empowering other people. 2 years, you don't get it. You are saying that they are saying that you replace. By the time you replace, the school fees have gone high. The value, if it was to train one person, 5 people, now you are going to, they will only allow 3 people over the same money. Is that professional? I'm asking you, conscious, professionally respond to those questions.
Chair, thank you so much. Initially, what used to happen, when you see a list of approved students, you would communicate with the school to say, if they could send the list of students that are there to confirm, and they would send. But that one, it did not work well. Okay, at one time
that was professionally wrong, like your colleague was putting it.
At one time, Chair, I was in Chembe. There was a school somewhere in Mansa there. So what we used to do, we would pay the monies. And upon going for monitoring and evaluation, we go on the ground, we find that some students have not reported. So we would demand for that money. And Chair, mind you, these are government institutions. They would say, this money you gave us, we've misused it or we've used it for other things. What they would request for is just to replace. So now we had to write to the ministry to say, these are the problems we are finding. We've written about 3 letters to the institutions. They are not reimbursing the money. So we need your guidance. And that is how come, Chair, the guidance came to say, instead of just paying without verification, you have now to go physically on the ground to go and verify. And that is why we are doing now, which is professionally correct, Chair.
Chair, thank you very much. The CS is telling this committee that if you frequently make follow-ups, they will pay.
Yes.
Which means they don't make follow-ups, Chair.
At the same time, she's saying these are government institutions.
Yes.
They have already committed the monies, which making it impossible.
Yes, Chair.
But if you
I think on that
go
one you conclude. But I want to take this committee, Chair, to page 7.
Page 7 of your
there
report,
is those unspent grants, Chair, which Katuba 4,443,956, Kembe 4,544,000, and the total came to 8,988,000 unspent. That is on page 7, Chair. I'm interested, Chair, on the action taken. The management made a very good move of varying those funds. Now, I want to know, they are saying, under where they, under Kembe, they varied for 4 school infrastructure development projects for Kembe, while under Katuba constituency, the valid funds were approved towards 27 various projects. Chair, I wanted to know, what are these 27 various projects that you can work in 4,544, so that we appreciate them, Chair. And they have said, see attached Annex 6A. We can go to that Annex 6A. Annex 6A, Chair, I can't see these 27 various projects they the funds for. If we can be assisted, Chair, I submit.
Council Secretary, is the ledger for the sum?
6, yeah. The ledger is at 6 on 6C.
6 what?
6C. 6A, Chair, is the authority letter to vary, and 6C, Chair, is the ledger. I'll now invite the finance to explain on the same and direct Chair.
Finance.
Thank you, Chair. So, Chair, what actually happened was, at this time, we had very few people who responded to the skills and bursaries component. So, what we did in accordance with the CDF guidelines, in order for us not to have unspent funds, we requested for a variation, which was granted. So this table here, it actually shows the projects under Katuba, that's 6C. So it shows all the projects that were undertaken and their status. Chair, maybe I'll ask Director Planning to add more.
Thank you very much, Chair. I think, like Director Finance has clearly explained, we followed the guidance to say when bursary funds are not conclusively used, we can vary towards educational projects. That's why in this case, we mainly spent the money on the procurement of desks and also rehabilitation and building of stored projects under education. I thank you, Chair.
On this, do you have desks here?
Yes.
On appendix,
Yes, number 22.
on appendix 6. I thought we are on appendix 6. C6.
Chair, 6C.
6C, yes. Right?
On 6C, Chair, there are two attachments. There's Katuba constituency and Kembe.
Yes.
Here, the amount is 4,443,000. But when you look at the projects that they are talking about, they are just 5, and the total amount is 3.9. And also, the total amount for the other one was less than 4.5. I would want to find out where did the extra money go to, since from the ministry they authorized the whole 4.5, and here the amount is 3.9. Where did you take the difference to? Chair, submit.
Honorable Nyambose, before she responds.
Chair, I will beg your forgiveness. I came a bit late. You have highlighted some of the projects that you have completed using the monies that you have varied. In terms of pictures of desks being, or payments, ledger for the desks, completion certificates, may I ask the Director of Works to lead me to the copies of the completion certificates so that I marry them to these, each one, because I've said completed, so that we can confirm that these monies were used exactly on the same you are talking about.
Thank you, Chair. The completion certificates were not attached. Instead, we attached the pictures.
On the same.
Yes, Honorable.
Director, again I'll come. Professionally, what would you take to confirm whether a project is really completed? Is it the pictures or the completion certificate? Did you have some knowledge to say, for us to do this, we need a completion certificate? Chair, why I ask, the completion certificate will tell you the amounts of the monies that were contracted on a particular project, the start of the project, the end of the project, and other details, and it will be signed by a director of works or other senior person. Pictures can be picked, even these can be from Chasef. I've done it. I've seen one that looks like one in Chasef. Can I have the completion certificates so that we verify these figures? 4-point-something million is huge sums of money, Chair, that we wanted to appreciate what they have done.
Director of Works, it's rumored you picked these from somewhere, these pictures. Can you prove to this committee that yes, they are from there? What document can you use?
Thank you very much, Chair. Just like I stated earlier on, there was an omission on the part for attaching the completion certificates. We thought the pictures would suffice.
How long have you been in that office? For how long? No, not in that, I don't mean Chivombo, but in that office as Director Engineering, in the ministry.
I've been in the ministry for 8 years.
For 8 years?
Yes, Chair.
Up to now.
Chair, when I say professionally, I'm not joking. In your office as Director Engineering, what would suffice to confirm a completion of a project? Is it pictures or completion certificates that are authentic with all the salient features of financials and whatever? For you, 8 years in office, besides 8 years as in office, trained by renowned universities, what do you think should have been done professionally?
Director Engineering.
Thank you very much, Chair. Professionally, what was supposed to be done was to attach completion certificates. However, we apologize for that.
Yeah, because, you know, where we park our cars, maybe to Mavit, they can park the 8 of them